Good morning, people. Well, this is a very interesting oleato type drink. So the flavor is good. It is my fresh ground coffee plus olive oil plus protein powder. I found some vanilla protein powder I'm testing out. So it's creamy, thick, etc. But unfortunately it leaves a film on your lips, which is not good for enunciating clearly. Okay, good morning, Rebecca. Once again, I think that's 3 days in a row you've been number one. Good morning, Mitch. Good morning, Carla. Good morning, konnichiwa. Domo arigato. And good morning, watabebi. Now, I posted a video. Did anybody have the opportunity to watch it at YouTube? A 6-minute, 7-minute little video. Just curious. So I'm going to move forward. The meme of today is Buddhism compatible with the Copernican Revolution? Is it compatible with the Copernican Revolution? All right, but while we're letting that meme percolate through the system, I sent you a text message this morning, Wadabebi. Let me just make sure I hit send, because sometimes I do that. Yes. Okay, at 5:10, 8:10 this morning, I sent it to everyone. If you didn't, that's okay. Thought we could perhaps have a discussion of it. All right, so looking at our day today is a big day for people. They are getting baptized. Is this? Okay, well, they're getting baptized today. Good. Woo-hoo. Who knew? Okay, so what are you guys going to church? So does that mean you're going to the 10:30 service? I mean, what is it? 11 o'clock service? You're going to both services? Going to Faith Fellowship? Going to Fidelis? Going where? What is the plan? I will be going to Faith Fellowship after, of course, I get gas. And so I want to say to you guys once again, thank you for quickly responding last night. I got so focused on my paper, getting it done, which I did get filed at about, I think 9:49 is when I submitted my paper. So well in advance of the deadline. And the last amount of time was doing the footnotes. And it's like page 1 number of footnotes, last page number of footnotes. So a lot of footnotes in the beginning, not many footnotes at the end. But anyway, the van's picking us up after second service. Okay, got it. All right. After second service, yes, I know when it is. I'm curious about what your people's views are. So that kind of doesn't make sense, because you should be going to service before baptism, right? Right? I wasn't waking, I was checking something on the screen. Van is picking us up after second service. No, that doesn't make any sense. Mitch, input. Do you have input, Mitch? I want to go to service. Well, I think there's somebody over there in your unit that has a car. Now, I'm going to second service, but I go from Faith Fellowship. We can go to the second service. Okay, so Carla will figure that out. Maybe Mitch can send a text to Tony seeing if whoever's driving the van could pick you guys up before second service. Maybe after they drop the people off from first service, Carla can take us to second service. Yeah, but isn't there more people? Aren't there more people? Right, there's more people than can fit in the car. Okay, well, you guys can figure that out. You don't need my help with that, but that's good. All right, so let's get to the guts of it. This is Department of Career Services, but no, it's not. It's actually G.School today, well, which is part of our program designed to help you on your journey through life, your one-shot journey through life. So you can say at the end, I fought the good fight, I ran the good race, I put everything into it, I have no regrets. And you can do that by making mistakes on your own, or you can do that by, as so-and-so said, by standing on the shoulders. I could see further because I stood, I was able to stand on the shoulders of others. Boy, it's right there. Isaac Newton. Yeah, so Isaac Newton said, if I can see further than others, it's because I've stood on the shoulders of giants. So you can do it the hard way, or you can do it the other way. It's your journey, your life. We're here to help you on the journey. And through the week, we focus on physical, mental, and emotional. On weekends, it's G.School, the spiritual part, which is what it's all about. And here, our belief is that Jesus was the creator incarnate. And I can tell you my Christology class is taking the really long way around that, to where the appearance is that Jesus was a guy who was just a normal woodworker from Nazareth, from the little, not great town of Nazareth, like a place like Pahrump. It's from a place like that, or maybe Amargosa Valley, who was a follower of John. John was a big name guy. Sometimes we have to diminish people as we go, as Augustus did with Julius Caesar. You don't want to be a follower of him, you want to surpass him. So Jesus was a guy that was a follower of John. At some point, he got baptized. At some point, he split from John and started his own thing back in Galilee. And he was a healer and an exorcist, and he had a unique message. His message was different from John's. And it appears that his baptism, he had profound experience. However, his unique ministry, the idea is love, let's just say love, that maybe started percolating through his system as he's listening to John. It might have been what brought him to John. Like, this just doesn't make sense. The same thing most people feel. This doesn't make sense. There's something more to it. There's something behind the curtain. I want to figure it out. So he went to John, learned from John, got baptized from John, then had a break because John was, repent, the whirlwind is coming. God is coming and you're going to be sorry. Where Jesus was, repent, the kingdom of heaven is here and it is about love. Really simple. And then at that point, when Jesus started preaching that message, is when he also was able to do miraculous things. So today's video, which nobody had the time to watch, that's okay, but you should definitely watch today. It's a short one. It's talking about Buddhism versus God. And I would say it is completely compatible with the Copernican Revolution, especially when you focus on the part where the narrator is saying, as to the questions of like the start of the universe and all of that stuff, the Buddha would say, I'm not really concerned about that. I'm concerned about suffering. Okay. So you could take it to say, well, the Buddhists have a different view than the Copernican Revolution on the nature of the universe, but I think it fits into the idea and it works because Buddha said, I'm not really focused on that. So in the Copernican Revolution, what happens? You have the creator slash S, the creators, and they are non-baryonic. And they decide to simply experience what is it like to be baryonic. And they unleash the energy, or they do whatever, the singularity that causes matter to come into being in our universe. And they play it out over the 13.8 billion years, just going with the flow, hyper vicariously experiencing what is it like to be. Now, the Bible says, I am. I think you can use that, but I think you can also say to be, to exist. And I think there's a thread that can take you into Buddhism from that, to be, to exist. And the creators did that. And over time, they just experienced evolution and let it roll out. So one of the things about the Copernican Revolution, 100% supportive of science, 100% supportive of the universe is 13.8 billion years old, and it makes sense. It makes sense. Segue. So I was doing that calculation. If 1,000,000 years equals a yard, how far is 13.8 billion years? So you got to take 13.8 billion divided by 1,000,000, and that's like 13,800. 13,800 yards. So you multiply that by 3 and then divide that by 7, 5,280. So you do that number, and it tells you if 1 yard equals 1,000,000 years, this is the number of miles that 13.8 billion years is. And then you flip it around and say, okay, well, what is a 100-year lifespan compared to a yard? So if a yard is 1,000,000 years, what is the distance of 100 years? So that would be 1/10,000th of a yard. And I think that's where you get to the length or the width of a human hair. That 1,000,000, that 1 hair to a yard is how long our life is. But the universe, over 1,000,000 years, our life is a hair. You take it to 13.8 billion years is, I think it's like 7 miles. 7 miles. If you take it out 7 miles and hold up a human hair and say, this is my life, that distance. So that's like walking from here to Homestead. That's how old the universe is. So in the Copernican Revolution, yeah, the creators played that out. They just experienced all of the energy, the creation of galaxies and planets and stars and moons and the collapse and all that, and then life, and not just here, but anywhere there's life. They played it out on Earth, wrote out evolution, wrote out life coming and going, and not just life in a big sense, but the life inside of each thing. Because if the creators created the universe, then They are in all part of the universe. The universe is not in them, but they could be in everything in the universe because they created it. You know, if you create a painting, you can say there's something of the painting, something of you in the painting, right? There's something of you in the painting, because everybody would paint a unique painting, even if it was a vase of flowers. Nobody's going to do exactly the same thing. There's something of you in the creation, but that doesn't mean there's something of the creation in you. Okay, that's still a painting that's over there. It might have impacted you, affected you, but none of the physicalness of that painting is in you, but you are in the painting. So the creator could be in all things it created, but separate, because those things are not in the creator. The creator is in them, experiencing it hyper vicariously. And then humans come along, and then there's a point, and perhaps many points, the creator decided to become incarnate in the creation. Like, I want to experience being a Tyrannosaurus Rex, not just hyper vicariously, but I want to be born as one. Well, we wouldn't know about that. That would be completely inaccessible to our ability to know. But if the creator became in a human being, we now have, when there was language and the ability to record things, then we would know. So I think it could be the case that you could say Jesus was the creator incarnate, and it leaves the door open for others who were just like that. And then it brings the question of, well, when did they know they're the creator incarnate? Well, maybe they knew the whole time. Maybe they never knew until after they were done. Yeah, I want to take the E-ride where I am not aware that I am who I am. I just want to be fully 100% in the creation. I want to live it and not be aware of this duality. Okay, so that's getting kind of deep, way off the subject, or way beyond. But I would say Buddhism, and everyone would really like you to watch it for your own benefit, but also for the purpose of helping the Copernican Revolution. Is Buddhism compatible with the Copernican Revolution? I would say it is. I would say it fits in there completely, 100%. If you bracket on the part where it seems like Buddha says, I'm just not interested in thinking about those kinds of things. As to reincarnation, I would say no. I would say we are a unique life form, and depending upon how you define reincarnation, as Jesus said, you will have everlasting life if you follow my commandments. And my commandments are very simple. Love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. If you don't, and he says, if you keep those commandments, you will be one with the Father and I. So could that be a form of reincarnation? Yes, it could be a form of reincarnation. Does it imply that if we are, we're going to come back to this earth, or if we're not, we're going to come back to this earth? No, it doesn't imply anything about that either way. So I would say, other than the fact about reincarnation, if in Buddhism the idea is you're going to come back as a human, I would say there's not enough information to say why we would come back this way. I think if we follow what Jesus said, you do this, you're going to be with the Father and I. You don't, you're going to go to the lake of fire, or you're going to be with Satan. That's a different Sundays. What did he mean about that? I don't think you can say there was an intellect, but maybe. So that's a different one, different demonic intellect. That's a different one, different time. But if you follow my commandments, you're going to be with the Father and I. If you don't, you're going to go, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. So does that mean reincarnation? Well, you could probably say that. However, if you start from the premise that the creator is pure energy, non-baryonic, that would mean that after we're here, if we follow the teachings of Jesus, we are going to be like that because we're made in the image of God. So we are pure energy. And the thought, it would seem to me to make sense that when you become pure energy, you lose your unique. You don't need to keep your unique. This is who I am. We need that in this body. We need to have a distinctness. Okay, so that's a lot of rambling, 20 minutes, going to end it right now. Perhaps it's also because another great video to watch, which I watched this morning, is the Jordan Peterson, Russell Brand, talking about Russell Brand becoming a Christian and getting away from hedonism over here to Christianity. And it seems like a lot of other big name people are doing the same thing right now. And the question is why? Why are these big name people embracing Christianity? I was just thinking of Shia LaBeouf has really gone deep into Catholicism. In the Russell Brand, Jordan Peterson thing, they also talked about when you're going the hedonism path, you don't have forces come up against you. But when you start going against it and you start going the Christian path, forces come up against you. That happened with Russell Brand in the last year. Happens to happen with Jordan Peterson regarding his license. So maybe there's something to that, but we're way over our time. It's 21 minutes. Mitch, maybe you can text me regarding if anybody wants to go to Faith Fellowship, anyone needs a ride, let me know because I have to leave early to come get them. And or if there's anything else that is needed on this end, I do have coffee that is ground, which I will bring and give to you later. So thank you everyone for being there. Share video, think, talk, watch the Buddhism one. We've got another good one in our worksheet, which a couple other red letter things. The talk Waiteva. This is a really practical thing about the Raz. Seth Godin talking about hurry but don't rush. That fits in with our view of the Copernican Revolution. And with that, I will say Auf Wiedersehen, people. Thank you for being there. And come back. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Replace habits with better habits. That's all you have to do. Replace habits with better habits. And with that, okay, Auf Wiedersehen, people. Peace, peace, peace out. Boom. I don't know what that means in sign language, but okay, cool.